need to come together. Again, you see the start and restart signs down there in turn 4. They must go together to the second sign closest to us where it says start. And then after a while, lap is in. At any race, the leader can fire anywhere between the two signs in the Sunoco restart zone. So we'll try it again. Third time's got to be the charm, we hope. Varon and Williamson, the veteran and the young veteran right there. Matt Shepard behind him. Here they come.
That's good. Green is out. Here we go. Matt Williamson in that 3 looking to the outside. Bobby Varon, he'll jump out to the early lead. He'll set the pace. Look at Matt Shepard looking to the bottom side in there. Turns number 3 and 4, trying to take Matt Williamson's position away. Side by side at the start-finish line. Your early leader is going to be Bobby Varon.
Yeah, Varon's leading. Shepard got by Williamson in turn number 4. Danny Morgevitz down the back straightaway. He's now in 4th. 5th spot. Jeff Doherty next in line again. 5 to qualify, 3 to the redraw. Here's Shepard chasing after Varon.
A little bit of contact throughout the field for 4th, and now they're side by side down the back straightaway for 5th, but we'll look back up front. Matt Shepard applying a pressure to Bobby Varon side by side as they come down the main straightaway. Varon had the lead by nose.
Matt Shepard, former champion here, has not been a regular for a number of years, but last Friday he stopped by on an off night and picked up the win. Bobby Varon battling with Shepard halfway side by side. Shepard will still be side by side at the wire.
4 laps in and 4 to go. It's all about the battle for the lead up front. There goes Matt Shepard. He'll take the lead away from Varon down the back straight away. Varon trying to come back on him. Can't quite do it as this time by 3 laps to go. The top 3 of Matt Shepard, Bobby Varon, and Matt Williamson, Jeff, starting to separate themselves from the rest of the field.
Yes, they are, but we got another mover further back here. The doctor, Danny Johnson. He's been a regular here at Outlaw for quite a number of years. Got by Jeff Doherty while we were watching the battle between Varon and Shepard, and he picked up position 5. Now he's battling Daniel Morgevitz for position 4. The doctor's on the move down the back. Meanwhile, we have Matt Williamson sliding by Bobby Varon for 2nd, and we've got the Barron's Performance Warehouse white flag, 1 to go.
Final time around, Matt Shepard already has a 10-car length lead over the 2nd place driver of Matt Williamson. He'll make his way off of turn number 4 for the final time, and we'll see the Sunoco checker flag. Matt Shepard will win the first heat race of the night over Matt Williamson in 2nd, Bobby Varon in 3rd.
Danny Johnson and then Daniel Morgevitz, followed by Doherty, Collins, LaRock next across the line, and John Michael Phillips. Grabbing the heat race win, the 9S, that'll be Matt Shepard taking home the heat win. Runner-up spot, Matt's 3rd heat win on the High Torque New York North region. Matt Williamson gets 2nd in the number 3. 18B Bobby Varon 3rd. He gets the last redraw spot. 27J Dr. Danny Johnson gets 4th, and the 15M of Daniel Morgevitz qualifies in position number 5. Lineup for Heat 2, pole position. Driving car number 4, that's the Tire Discount Center's 4-star racing products entry of Anthony Perego. Alongside of him, the Hallmark International Park Contracting 44, Stuart Friesen. 2nd row inside your ATL Fuel Cell Hot Lap Hero. Driving car number 7MM, that is a mobile diesel equipment repair, St. Lawrence Radiology, Weak Neck Archery 7MM, and Michael Maresca. Alongside of him, the Snow's Garage 82S, Will Shields. Will also a winner here this season. 3rd red to the inside, driving car number 21, Derek Podsiadlo. That's the Penyan Express Stop race car. And alongside, driving in the 84 Junior, the Coots Gravel entry of Adam Coots. 4th row inside, the 2B will be Ron Cartwright. That's the Ostrowski Builders race car. Alongside the Addison Eagles 88, Alan Johnson in the final starting spot. Scheduled to go Tommy Payne in the 6 out of Waterloo. Heat number 2, 8 laps, 5 to go to the feature, 3 to redraw.
Green flag is out. That is a great side-by-side start as the cars look at that 3 wide down the back straightaway. Michael Maresca looking to go 2 for 1. Nothing there. Stuart Friesen, he'll jump out to the early lead as we come around to complete lap number 1.
Wow, Perego blinked his eyes and he went from 1st to 3rd. There was 1 car on either side of him. Friesen went high and Maresca went low. Friesen has the lead. Maresca 2nd. Perego is in 3rd. Down the back straightaway, Podsiadlo now racing in position 4 as they work out of the corner.
So Stuart Friesen setting the early pace in this one, but look at Mike Maresca starting to keep pace with Friesen to the top spot, reeling him in. This time by, we're going to come around to complete lap number 3. We got a battle shaping up for the top spot.
Yes, we do. Maresca will dive to the inside of Stuart Friesen out of turn number 2. Friesen has the momentum on the outside, maintaining the lead. He's running the high line. Maresca diving to the inside, halfway, and they're side by side down the straightaway.
4 laps to go, and we got a good one here for heat race number 2. Michael Maresca still trying to find some bite down low. He has a nose on Friesen. They drag race here off of corner number 4. Still Stu hangs on to P1.
Down the straightaway, it is still side by side. Friesen high, Maresca low. Wheel-to-wheel action down the back straightaway now. Friesen pulls a couple of car lengths on Maresca. Will get the 2-lap signal.
You can see Maresca bobbled there in the middle of turns number 3 and 4. Now he's about 5 car lengths behind Friesen. The twin sticks are in the air. 2 more times around. Anthony Perego still looking good in car number 4, running in that 3rd spot. They're going to see the Barons Performance white flag this time by Jeff Ellum. Final time around.
Final lap for Stuart Friesen. Maresca either is not keeping pace with Friesen, or Friesen picked it up, or maybe Maresca just was testing the waters for later on. Here comes Stuart Friesen out of the turn. He'll take the Sunoco checker.
Second will go to Mike Maresca. Anthony Perego 3rd. 4th will be the 21 of Derek Pozziablo. And 5th will be Ron Cartwright Jr. in the 2B.
So there you go. Heat number 2, a good battle, but maintaining the number 1 spot to the finish, the 44 of Stuart Friesen. 7MN, Michael Maresca will grab 2nd. The 4, Anthony Perego 3rd. They go to the redraw. 4th spot will be the 21, Derek Pozziablo. And the 2B, Ron Cartwright, qualifies in position 5. Heat number 3 lining up this way. Pole position, driving the dependable Disposal 47, track regular Craig Crooker out of Savona, New York, and alongside of him, driving the Manson Overhead Doors SRI Performance, Emmerich Associates number 02, the Ginger Ninja, Jack Lehner out of Saratoga Springs. Second row to the inside, it's the boss man. Here at Outlaw Speedway, the Outlaw Speedway, friendly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram 5-star from Horseheads, Tyler Seary. Alongside of him, the defending champion on the New Jersey Quality Drywall Short Track Super Series South region in the Milma Snap Autoports 84Y, Alex Jankowski. Row 3 to the inside, the Mooney Sports Bar 72. From Elmira, AJ Potrabowski Jr. alongside of him. Driving the Christie's Construction 21G Aiden Grover. Row 4 will find the Davies Hardscapes number 5 from Benton, Matt Yoder. Alongside of him, the English Construction Ohio Logistics 78, Alex Payne. And scheduled for the final spot out of Waterloo, the 1B, Billy Payne. Here we go, heat number 3. Again, 8 more laps. Bob Hilbert Sportswear Short Track Super Series fueled by Sunoco Modifieds High Torque of New York North Region.
Almost, yes, there it is. 3 wide on the opening lap for heat race number 3. Jack Lehner, he'll jump out into the early lead. Looking to 84Y, Jankowski looking to take second away at the line from Crooker. Can't quite do it. He's still there as they are 2 by 2 off of turn number 2.
Down the back straightaway now, Jankowski, who was our Short Track Super Series New Jersey Quality Drywall South Region champ last year, as well as the Fonda champ. Moving in now, Greg Crooker holding on to second. Here comes Alex Payne. Alex working the bottom groove on Jankowski. 2 young throttle jockeys going at it for that 3rd and final redraw spot. Tyler Seary now the last qualifying spot ahead of Potrabowski.
Right now, Jack Lehner has an even 1 second lead over the battle for the 2nd spot as Jankowski still trying to find something on the bottom. He takes a shot off 4. They are real close. They're off the turn. Oh, boy. Crooker got shoved up the wall.
Oh!
Back down in the turn 1. What a great heat race number 3 we have.
Yeah, Jankowski took Crooker a little high there, and Crooker slammed the door going into turn number 1. And now they try to change lanes out of turn 4. We've got the 70 of Payne, Alex Payne in 4th spot. Tyler Seary battling with Potrabowski. This one is loaded with action. 2 to go. Jankowski going to the outside.
You can throw a blanket over 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th with just 2 more times around. Potrabowski has also tracked down Tyler Seary. for that final transfer spot. Here comes Jankowski with another one. Craig Crooker, this is a battle for the second spot. Jankowski, he'll move Crooker up the hill in turn 4.
Yeah, they got a little wheel rubbing going on there in turn number 3. Alex went in high. Oh, Crooker with a slider on Jankowski. He'll return the favor down the back. This one isn't over yet. Meanwhile, way out in front after the Bears performance warehouse white flag. Oh, look at this. Crooker and Jankowski still trading sliders into turn 4. Later will get the win. Crooker second. Jankowski, Alex Payne, and Tyler Seary. See if there's any post-race discussion on this one. Oh, yeah, there is. Jankowski goes by and rubs a little wheel there on the 47 of Craig Crooker. Both drivers not happy with their fellow participant in that one. Boy, that was hard racing, Earl.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sorry. Did I ever mention that I love Outlaw Speedway? My goodness. Already 3 heat races and we're already throwing elbows. I love this place.
Yeah, 0-2 to Ginger Ninja Jack Lehner, the runaway winner in heat number 3. And second spot, the 47, Craig Crooker. Third, the 84Y, Alex Jankowski. They were both in the redraw. Luckily, they didn't knock each other out. Fourth spot, the 78, Alex Payne. And fifth, the 5-star Tyler Seary. All right, heat number 4 will go to the post this way, pole position. He had a great run in our last Short Track Super Series event at Fonda in the Firecracker 50, driving the Walker.com 01. Chris Robbie, and alongside of him, driving car number 70. That is the Barney Moravec Water Wells Washburn Excavating 70 of Brady Foltz. Second row to the inside, the Killer Crate Racing Products, Skyguard Motorsports 97, Bobby Hackle the fourth. And alongside of him, the Payout Racing 1 is David Hebert. Third row to the inside, driving the Prime Design Landscapes, R.G. Hoffman Electric 27, Tanner Van Doren. And alongside of him, driving the Outlaw Speedway, Friendly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram 42P, the Genoa Giant Pat Ward. Row 4 inside, driving car number 14 will be Brian Swarthout. That is a Swarthout Crane Service entry. And alongside of him, driving the 07, Wally Wade. Wally Wade, the 07. He is sponsored by MW Lubricants. The final starter, the 7X. Former winner of this race, the Hurricane, Steve Payne.
Final heat race for the Bob Hilbert Sportswear Short Track Super Series gets underway. Chris Robbie will jump out into the early lead as Bobby Hackle on the 97. He'll take that runner-up spot with a little bit of contact here at the flag stand, but the caution flag is out. The SRI Performance caution lights come on once again.
Looks like Swarthout is stopping over there. Brian almost got off the top of the racetrack over there in turn number 3. Pulled it back on the track, but stalled it out. He'll draw the caution and rejoin. We have completed one lap here at heat number 4. Some excellent action so far in our 4 Bob Hilbert Sports.
A little bit of contact on the main straightaway.
Who was he tapping there?
Ward.
Uh-oh.
Hey, folks, listen. We may be at 82 Main Street, but don't forget we're right back in action next Wednesday, July 16, at the Afton Motorsports Park. We got fireworks here tonight. I know we're going to have fireworks here next Wednesday.
Well, we'll see. Here we go. Things are heating up here in July because we ran last week, this week, next week. Here we go. Back to green. One lap down, and on the outside of Robbie, we got Bobby Hackle. Down the back straightaway, Tanner Van Doren following on the outside lane, battling with Brady Foltz. Here they come, heat 4.
2 by 2 to come down to complete another lap here. Still your leader's going to get a 97 of Bobby Hackle, looking to go 3 wide for P3. Look at the 1 of David Hebert. He's going to look underneath Van Doren. He's also going to look underneath, who is at the 70 of Brady Foltz. How about it? Hebert starting to look good here in the 1.
Hebert is on the offense going after the 70 Brady Foltz, but at the same time trying to play defense as Tanner Van Doren is pressuring him. Meanwhile, up front, Hackle grabbed the lead from Robbie on the restart, but Robbie's not giving up. He's on Hackle down the back, and we got that 3-car battle for third. Hebert battling Foltz for the last redraw spot. See if we see any heavy haymakers in this one.
And Van Doren starting to track those 2 drivers down once again as we're side by side for the lead and side by side for third. Bobby Hackle trying to make that car as wide as it can be. Here comes Chris Robbie. Robbie looking good in the 0-1. They're going to see the twin sticks in the air just 2 more times around.
Hebert making the pass on Brady Foltz coming out of 4. He'll go to third. Tanner Van Doren now right there with Brady Foltz. Pat Ward not far behind. then Swarthout and Wally Wade behind him. Meanwhile, look at this. Robbie moving back in for the lead, battling with Hackle, the Bears Performance Warehouse, white flag waving. 1 lap to go, Earl.
It's a battle for the win. Bobby Hackle, he'll rip the lip there in turns number 3 and 4. Here comes Chris Robbie. Robbie down low. They'll drag race down to the line, give the heat race win to Bobby Hackle. Chris Robbie will finish in that second spot. David Hebert finishing in that third and final redraw. Fourth goes to the 27 of Tanner Van Doren, and Brady Fords will take home that fifth and final qualifying spot for tonight's main event.
Wow. Folks, hope you enjoyed those 4 heats. Just a little preview of what's coming in our 50-lap Dave Machuga Outlaw Showdown Memorial feature later on. Bobby Hackle, the 4th, holding on to the win in heat number 4 in the 97. The 01, Chris Robbie gets 2nd. The 1, David Hebert, 3rd. They go to the redraw. The 27, Tanner Van Doren, is 4th. And the 70, Brady Foltz, is in 5th. 20 cars are qualified for tonight's 50-lap, 7,078 to win feature. And your heat winners again, Matt Shepard, Stuart Friesen, Jack Lehner, and Bobby Hackle, the 4th. All right, Spazman, we got some street stock racing coming up.
We've got the Swarthout street stocks coming up. But before we get to that, I think the proper word to use for our drivers tonight are combatants. Combatants, and we've got 16 of them here in the street stocks, the Swarthout Recycling street stocks. Ray K as Big Sexy, that friendly Dodge, makes its way by with the Old Glory double flags flying. We're going to line up like this. Zach Teed out of Watkins Glen on the pole, and Joey G. Joe Jardina out of Beaver Dams. He'll go P2. P3 is Mean Gene Sharpstein out of Chemung in the 7, and Quick Mick Seeley out of Lawrenceville, Pennsylvania in the 31. Quinn Sutherland out of Dundee in the 57. Jay will go 5th. 6th is Jimmy Grant out of Penn Yan in the 36. Carl Cleveland in the 22. 7th. And also out of Dundee, Jared Hill in the 93. 8 laps is the distance. The green flag flies 3 wide already going down the backstretch. And as I always say, Outlaw Gang and everybody watching on Flow, added money leads to added excitement. No doubt about it. The street stocks battling for 1778. And out front right now is Joey G, Joe Jardina, in that beautiful looking 25 car. The Coach's Pizza number 7 of Mean Gene is Sharpstein in 2nd. 3rd is Jimmy Grant. 4th is the 6 of Zach Teed, and Jared Hill in the 5th and final redraw position. Everybody will make the show in the Outlaw portion here. I should say the street stocks, the Sportsman, and the 4 cylinders. And we are going to send 5 to the redraw here, and check out Jimmy Grant, 2-time feature winner here in 2025, trying to stick his nose underneath the 7 of Gene Sharpstein and can't. There are a ton of racing Sharpsteins in this area and in the southern tier, and nice little I love the way they spread those guys coming out. They spread themselves out coming off of turn number 2. Joey G, Sharpstein, and Jimmy Grant all holding serve in the top 3. But here comes Sharpstein, your reigning and defending track champion in the Swarthout Recycling street stocks, trying to get underneath. Next time by will be the horns. Ray K will put the horns up, and we'll have 2 more to go. What a battle going on up front right now between Joey G, Jardina, and Mean Gene Sharpstein as Ray K puts the horns up. 2 more to go. Jimmy Grant, strike 1, Spazman, trying to find some room around the outside of Jardina. The high side is the quick side here if you can get hooked up at 82 Main. White flag flies, uno mas. 1 more to go for Joe Jardina. Jimmy Grant one more time, trying to rip the lip down the back stretch. He's right there. 1 more set of turns to try and make it happen for Jimmy Grant. It's going to be a drag race to the line, and Jimmy Grant is going to steal one on the last lap. Jimmy Grant out in front, 2nd, Jardina. 3rd is Sharpstein. 4th is Sutherland, and in that 5th and final redraw spot is Jared Hill. Carl Cleveland and Quick Mick Seeley round out the field. Jimmy Grant victorious by just 0.274 over Jardina. So our second qualifier here on the Swarthout Recycling street stocks, making their way out onto the racing surface, And Glenn Reitner, the antagonizer, multi-time champion here, multi-time feature winner at Outlaw Speedway. He's going to start on the pole. He is out of Jasper, New York in the 15. It's Willie the Kid Easling out of Beaver Dams, New York in the Van Dyke Septic number 28. Inside row number 2, it's Chris Woodard out of Campbell in the 97 and Brett Crawford out of Corning in the 8 car. Row number 3, it's Bigfoot Shane Wolf Jr. out of Susquehanna, Pennsylvania in the 77 and John Burritt in the 12 car out of Dundee. Tim Grady out of Dundee in the 19 and rounding out the field, the legend himself, Sparky Hills out of Painted Post. 8 laps is the distance. 5 will go to the redraw, and Ray Kay waves the white flag. Glenn Reitner out in front. 4-time feature winner here at Outlaw Speedway is going to lead by Ray Kay for the first time. Out in front, Glenn Reitner. Second is Willie Easling. Third is a battle between Crawford and Woodard. It's not the first time we've seen them two do battle. And Shane Wolf, former track champion, I believe 2023, took 2024 off. He's also a back-to-back Empire Street Stock Series champion. Crawford up into that 3rd spot. Those top 5 would go to the redraw if it ended that way right now. But out front, Glenn Reitner handily out in front by 2.08. And check out this battle, 2 by 2 for 2, 3, 4, and 5. But Glenn Reitner handily out in front. X marks the spot. 4 in, 4 more to go for the antagonizer. Almost 3 wide. Here's Shane Wolf trying to get to the inside of Woodard. And a nice side-by-side beadlock to beadlock battle, or I should say door handle to door handle battle between Crawford and Willie Easling. Willie Easling, reigning and defending 4 cylinders champion, had an opportunity to talk with him, and he's just said that he just wants to focus on the street stocks more this year. Came out and won the season opener for the 4 cylinders, and that was the only time we've seen him wheel that. Almost 3 wide as the horns are up for your leader, Glenn Reitner. Second is Easling. Third is Crawford. Fourth is now Shane Wolf. And fifth is Woodard as the white flag flies for the antagonizer. Down the backstretch for the final time. Full straightaway lead, full backstretch lead over Willie Easling. And Glenn Reitner is going to pick up the dub. So Glenn Reitner in the 15. He notches the dub. Willie Easling second. Reitner wins by 4.34. Brett Crawford in third in the 8. Shane Wolf in the 77 fourth. And Chris Woodard in the 97 will go to the redraw as he captures that 5th and final spot.
I'd like to squeeze in here with one of our thank yous tonight. Some of our Sportsman sponsors on the series. Belmont's Garage, our South Region sponsor. Belmont's Garage, founded in 1965 by Chick Belmont. Andy Belmont now serving as the Langhorne business manager. Belmont's Garage providing general auto and truck repair, servicing all brands and vehicles. Pennsylvania licensed RV and trailer inspection. Pennsylvania licensed motorcycle inspection. Serving as a certified emergency vehicle repair center. Belmont's Garage utilizing ASC certified technicians. Belmont's Garage located on West Maple Avenue in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Visit them on the web at belmontsgarage.com. Give them a call at 215-757-3813. or like Belmont's Garage on Facebook.
Nap and Schlappy American Racer Sportsman, 3 qualifiers, 21 combatants. George Schweigert out of Woodhull in the 12, and Brent Ayers out of Dundee in the 5. That's your front row. Daryl Krebs out of Union Springs in the 13K, and Taylor Doxtater out of good old Philadelphia, New York. I said PA earlier. I meant Philadelphia, New York in the 44 car. The King, Carl Comfort in P5 out of Penn Yan in the 10 car. Caden Lawson out of Addison in the 11. And rounding out the field, former track champion A.J. Lloyd in the 1F out of Canandaigua. 8 laps is the distance. Ray Kay looks him over. He likes what he sees. And Brent Ayers is going to sneak out to the top spot down the backstretch for the first time.
I was going to say, if he's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he had a longer drive than me.
A longer drive, and we also have a caution coming out for the PITA tire. Whatever people call those, I call it a PITA tire. PITA. You should be able to do the math, Jeff, why I call it a PITA.
Okay.
A pain in the you-know-what. Those things, I'll tell you what, those things, no matter where they are, no matter how big they are, no matter how heavy, as you see Carmen taking care of that.
And every time someone says Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, go Birds. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Guess what? Earl might not get out of the tower.
I'm telling you, I'm a Yankees guy. I don't know what to tell you.
Respect. Yes, I am.
All right, but there's a reason. There's a reason because I escaped my childhood by reading, and I latched on to baseball almanacs. And that taught me all about the Bronx Bombers, Murderers Row, the 50s and 60s. Just how do you not fall in love as a kid with Babe Ruth and Gehrig and DiMaggio and all those guys? And, so I would just like to see them put a better team around Aaron Judge. That's all I'm saying.
We also need the Aaron Judge to show up for postseason October. But that's another story for another day.
This is true. And let's get back to racing. What do we have here?
Knapp and Schlappe Sportsman, heat number 1.
Yes.
Still to go, 8 laps.
All right, here we go. You got me discombobulated with the birds thing, Earl. All right, here we go, man. Green flag flies, and we are underway. 8 laps is the distance, and George Schweigert is going to take advantage of that restart and steal the top spot away from Brent Ayers. Ayers in second. Third is Doc Stater and Darrell Krebs. Darrell Krebs in the 13K going for a ride off of the backstretch over there at the entry into turn number 3. Now, guys, I don't know if you've been over there at the eastern end of the racetrack, but it is a nice little drop. It's not huge, and they're not going to end up in the big stream, but anytime anybody goes over there, I just tell them to be a little more patient. You can go fishing after the race.
Well, it is a pretty good drop because we got a replay here on FloRacing. You can see 2 cars got hooked together, which is what sent him around, what sent Krebs around. He got a little bump in the back bumper to turn him around there.
Definitely. I don't know. Was that the Caden Lawson 11 that got into him?
Yeah, I could believe that's who it was.
The BA headers number 13K of Darrell Krebs. Now, he didn't get any checkered flags last year, but he finished second in points behind Carter Crooker. And every time I talked to him, he would, convey his frustration. So you got frustration of not pulling off any dubs, plus the added money. They're running for $2,078 tonight, which is pretty good scratch for just a Thursday night race.
I was going to say it's a pretty good drop over there. We never finished that story because when the rigs come in around the outside to go to the pits, you can't see them.
You cannot see them. Yep. So it is a decent drop. And here we go. The green flag flies once again. Schweigert, Ayers, Comfort, Dox Tater. I know he had to get picked on in school over that name. I know he did. But out in front in Schweigert and Ayers, Comfort, Dox Tater, and A.J. Lloyd, those are your top 5. Remember the top my bad. Top 4 redraw here in the American Racer Sportsman. Brent Ayers trying to get to the inside of Schweigert, just can't make it happen. Rolling the bottom this early in the show normally doesn't work at Outlaw. Now, once we get to feature time, that might be a different story. But I'll tell you, it's going to be awesome watching those modifieds ripping the lip here tonight for the Short Track Super Series. $2,000 on the line for the American Racer Sportsman. As they come down, X marks the spot halfway. 4 in, 4 to go for George Schweigert. Schweigert out of Woodhull. Brent Ayers out of Dundee, right around the corner. Comfort, the king, Carl Comfort, out of Penn Yan. And then Dox Tater out of good old Philly, New York.
You know, Schweigert is a regular with us on the Short Track Super Series. Tonight's Sportsman race is not part of the series, but he does race here with you on occasion. Talking to the crew earlier, they brought out a new car for some series races, and they just can't seem to get it to work. Tonight they got the old reliable car out. It seems like it's running really good.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, though, Jeffrey, when you said, sorry, is Jeffrey okay? All right, Jeff. Old reliable. Sometimes the old ones, the boomers, are the ones that can be relied upon. White flag flies for Schweigert as he heads down the back stretch for the final time, about 4 car lengths ahead of Brent Ayers. Here he comes off of turn number 4, picking up the dub here in our first Sportsman qualifier. Schweigert out in front. Ayers, Comfort, Doxtator, they will all go to the redraw. Lloyd, Lawson, and Krebs will go to the hooligan. In hooligan, Jeff, you know what a hooligan is, right?
Yeah.
You're one of the cool people. You get it. Only the cool people understand. Earl, do you know what a hooligan is?
Earl's sleeping over here right now.
I'm pretty sure I've been called a hooligan all my life.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
A hooligan in racing is a consolation. That's all.
Hooligan races, yeah. Right.
Hooligans.
Right.
It's time for the hooligan. But anyway, qualifier number 2. Brian Rhodes out of Beaver Dams in the 4R will start on the pole inside row number 1. The Q, Quentin Buchanan out of Horseheads in the 27B will go from P2. Donnie Lawson, 2-time feature winner here in 2025 out of Edison in the 118. And Chris Fisher, also a feature winner this year out of Bluff Point, New York in the 37, will go outside row number 2. Scotty T, Scott Torbett, in the 927 Racing number 88T out of Freeville. He'll go P5. And P6, it's Justice Mayo in the Sword Out Recycling 181 out of Beaver Dams. And riding shotgun, Kevin DeCamp out of Corning in the 22K. His son, Colston, has dominated the Fritz Masonry Youth Bandits, winning 3 out of 3 races. And Ray K lets a green flag fly, and we are underway. 8 laps is the distance, and you can see Chris Fisher already thinking, I want to put this Fisher Tree Service Bully Hill Vineyard 37 around the outside of your leader, Quentin Buchanan. But Buchanan is going to lead lap number 1. Buchanan out in front. Here goes Lawson, battling with 2 Sword Out Recycling cars in the 4R of Brian Rhodes in the 181 of Justice Mayo. And he's going to slide up into that 4th spot. And he tries to get to the inside of Brian Rhodes, but does a great job of not throwing the hip check. So he settles for 4th for now. But out in front, it's Quentin Buchanan. He snowplows, runs it up the hill just a little bit, but does not lose enough real estate where Fisher is able to take advantage. Now Fisher is trying to roll the bottom, trying to ride the berm inside Buchanan, but can't. There you see, once again, Buchanan a little tight coming off of turn number 4, but Fisher not in a position to be able to capitalize. 4 in, 4 to go. X marks the spot. Racing phenomenal here on this tabletop smooth surface. Have to give a shout out to the boss man and the crew for sure. But Buchanan out in front, not by a whole lot this time, by just 0.229. 0.229, and there you go. He's got himself right up to the numbers of Quentin Buchanan. They're going to come down and get the horns. Ray K throws the horns. 2 more to go for Quentin Buchanan, then ACP 27B. Buchanan, Fisher, Lawson, and Justice Mayo holding serve. Your top 4 headed to the redraw as the white flag flies. Here's Fisher, switches lines, trying to roll the bottom to the inside and just can't. Sooner or later, track will widen out and they will start using the middle and the high side for sure. Oh, Buchanan way too hot off of number 4, and Chris Fisher is going to steal one at the line. Oh, might be something a little wrong on that Quentin Buchanan car. I don't know if I can see something wrong. Jeff, can you see something wrong on the left front?
I couldn't, but he did graze off the wall when he got oaked there in the marbles in turn 4. So unfortunately not a heat win, but he survived for a redraw spot.
Chris Fisher .777 over Donnie Lawson in second, Justice Mayo third in the 181. Quentin Buchanan, excuse me, does hold on for that fourth and final redraw spot. Rhodes, Torbett, and DeCamp rounding out the field. So Chris Fisher picking up qualifier number 2. And here is your third and final qualifying lineup. Big Sexy bringing them down the front stretch. It's Colin Brown in the 97, or 87, my bad, out of Corning, and outside of him, out of Rathbone in the 06, it's Tim Guild. Tim Guild, one of the few guys I have to look up at when we're in victory lane. Josh Nobriga out of Lindley, New York in the 41, and Andrew Clark, feature winner this season, his first ever Sportsman win out of Dundee in the 20. Blake Parsons in the 55 out of Beaver Dam. Dale Welty in the 123 out of Montour Falls. And Kenny Peoples Jr. out of Addison in the 5K. Eight laps is the distance. And by Ray K for the first time, it's going to be the 06 of Tim Guild. Tim Guild leads the way down the backstretch. Second is Brown. Third is Clark. And fourth is the Pudgy's Pizza 55 of Blake Parsons, feature winner here this season. Josh Nobriga right there with the white rims, with the white wheel covers in the 41 car. Kenny Peoples Jr., Sportsman winner here at the Short Track Super Series last season, beating the guy who won the last heat, Chris Fisher. So next time by, we will be halfway. Hey, has anybody seen my voice? If you find it, pick it up and bring it up to me. Leading the way, Tim Guild, X marks the spot. Brown, Clark, Parsons, your top 4. Nobriga, Peoples Jr., and Dale Welty in the 1, 2, 3. There's Tim Guild once again out in front, this time by 1.085. 1.085. And the horns are up for your leader, Tim Guild. Brown second, third, Clark, fourth, Parsons. Everybody holding serve. Can't wait to see this track till they get it runned in. All the top all buzzed off, and then the racy comes out. Features are going to be awesome. Tim Guild takes the white flag. Uno mas. I don't care where you live. I don't care what language you speak. The white flag is universal for one more. Checkered flag is universal for Tim Guild. Picks up the dub here in our third and final Sportsman qualifier. He wins by 1.441 over Brown. Clark runs third, and in the fourth and final redraw spot, Blake Parsons, Nobriga, Peoples, and Welty rounding out the field.
Since the Sportsmen were just on the Speedway, we already said we are not sanctioning them tonight, but we did say thanks to Belmont's Garage, our South Region Sportsman sponsor for the Short Track Super Series. Our North Region sponsors, Madsen Overhead Door. Madsen Overhead Doors of Spencertown, New York. A recognizable name in Northeast Modified Racing, Madsen Overhead Doors has been a family-owned and operated business for 4 generations since 1954. They offer residential, commercial, and industrial loading dock equipment along with all garage door needs. A fleet of 18 sales, service, and installation trucks are equipped daily for installations and service. Madsen Overhead Doors covering the Capital District of New York, parts of the Hudson Valley, the Berkshires of Massachusetts, Litchfield County, Connecticut, Bennington County, Vermont, and surrounding areas. Madsen Overhead Doors located in Spencertown, New York, found on the web at MadsenOverheadDoors.com or by phone at 518-392-3883.
Sportsman winners were Schweigert, Fisher, and Guild, and now we've got the Winner's Circle Deli 4 cylinders, 20 cars. Zach Doherty and Justin Wilson out of Elmira and Addison in the 22 and the 93. That's row 1. Ralph Teeter and Nick Brown, row 2. Jeff Moore, Lee Fritz, row 3. And Lester Jenkins Jr. out of Elmira in the 88 rounds out the field. Once again, 8 laps is the distance. And, okay, Ray K says, I can't go for that. The Justin Wilson 93, guys, that had a number last week on July 4th that was about this big. It was about the size of a quarter. Couldn't even see it. So I picked on him, called him out online, and now you can see he's got a nice, good size number. The Outlaw Showdown, bro. Modifieds going 50 laps for $7,000. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, don't forget you can keep up with the Short Track Super Series during our 12th anniversary season by visiting our social media sites. The website is shorttracksuperseries.com, Facebook Short Track Super Series, X at Short Track SS, Instagram at Short Track SS, or YouTube Short Track Super Series. Keep up to date as the Short Track Super Series travels between events and on race day as well. Short Track Super Series, Bob Bilber Sportswear, Short Track Super Series fueled by Sunoco, our 12th anniversary season.
Green flag flies, and we are underway here in our first of 3 Winner Circle Deli 4-cylinder qualifiers. And Zach Doherty, your reigning and defending Fritz Masonry Youth Bandits champion. He aged out, became too old, moved up, and here he goes. He is former points leader. Lost the points lead last week back to Jason Smart. But out in front, it's Zach Doherty by 0.274 over Nick Brown. Parker Cunningham third, Jeff Moore fourth. Those would be your redraws. Top 4 will redraw. Boy, that feature for the Sword Out Recycling Street Stocks is going to be a dynamite. As J.J. Evans, am I the only one aging myself? You guys know J.J. Evans, right? Good times?
Yeah, there you go.
John Evans. The dad everybody wants. Here we go. Check out Nick Brown to the front around Zach Doherty. Wonder if something's going on with that 22 car of Zach Doherty, because Parker Cunningham looked like he was ready to make a move and then kind of ran it a little too far up the hill. But speaking of up the hill, speaking of widening the track out, Nick Brown in that 4X is doing a great job of doing just that here.
And widening the track with these guys is really far up there for these guys, going up to the top of the Speedway. And our leader is doing that. Actually, all 3 of them now are working the top lane, and that is really far up there.
The racers, when they see something work, when they see it working for somebody else, they're going to go and try it themselves. But Brown running the high side out to the... Now, he is going to run in to some lap traffic, that 88 of Lester Jenkins. But I don't know if he's actually going to get to him, if it's going to be much of a problem with the horns up and 2 more to go. Brown down the back stretch to 3 and 4. Will pick up the white flag this time by. Zach Doherty not letting him run and hide. That's for sure. That lap car of Jenkins might come into play as the white flag flies. Brown pretty much by cleanly. Doherty and Cunningham by cleanly as well. Too much of a gap, I think, though, for Zach Doherty to recover, and Nick Brown is going to pick up the dub. Nick Brown, Doherty, Cunningham, and Jeff Moore, they will all go to the redraw. Brown winning by .496.
All right, we're going to have another heat here for the 4 cylinders momentarily. Don't forget, coming up, we were at Fonda last week. We were supposed to be at New Egypt this past Tuesday. That event rained out, rescheduled for Thursday, August 21st. That is a New Jersey Quality Drywall Modified South, Belmont's Garage Sportsman South region race, Thursday, August 21. We're here tonight at Outlaw for the High Torque of New York North Region Modified Dave Machuga Outlaw Showdown. Next week, Wednesday, July 16th, Afton Motorsports Park. It'll be the Interstate 88 Special for the Short Track Super Series Modifieds High Torque of New York North Region event number 4, along with a Sportsman Madsen Overhead Door North Region race event number 3. That is next Wednesday. That is a venue and date change. Next Wednesday, July 16th, the Interstate 88 Special SDSS Modified High Torque North Region Madsen Overhead Door Sportsman North Region event at the Afton Motorsports Park.
All right, our second of 3 Winter Circle Deli 4-cylinder qualifiers. Ryan Stone out of Woodhull in the 39, and Nate Powers out of Pennellville in the 113. That's your front row. Mike Ayers. We're missing a little bit. Somebody had Parker Cunningham there. Mike Ayers out of Prattsburg in the 21X. Jimmy Granger out of Dundee in the 32. Kenneth Evans out of Elmira in the